Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to Revive Book Discussion. I have this beautiful lady here beside me. Wonder who that could be.
Oh, hey.
It's Annette. I'm so glad to have you with me tonight. I'm so excited to be talking about this book with you. And as someone who has read a ton of fantasy, I'm curious, your thoughts on this one. I'm
Yeah.
sure, like, I don't want to know ratings yet, or I don't want any spoilers, but I'm sure, like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm sure she's read better, but I hope that this at least was like an exciting read. And for anyone who doesn't know, Yvette read this in one sitting and she read it multiple days before the discussion.
So early. I was like, who is she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And joke's on me because guess who
I
finished
know.
right before me?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
right before. I had like an hour and a half, but
That's plenty of time. I'm normally 5 minutes. So,
I had time to digest a little bit more. Like,
yeah, you can think through it a little bit. Oh, Cleo, you coming?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to talk with you about this tonight. If any of you don't follow Yvette, she does have an Instagram. Nobody's successfully convinced her to create she has a YouTube, but there's nothing there. So nobody's successfully convinced her yet. So she does have an Instagram. Make sure to follow her down below. But yeah, I'm so excited. I see some friends popping in, which makes me excited because I know some people read this and enjoyed it, and I'm excited to talk about it. And if anybody happens to pop in who has not read it, I'm just saying that you should because it's short and I think it's worth a read. But you're not getting anything else out of me yet. No
You
ratings.
read it in 24 hours. So,
Yeah. Amy was saying earlier that she started it, and it was like her and Wendy were in like a reading sprints channel on Discord, in Jordan's Patreon, and they were talking, and I just like randomly like popped in the conversation when I saw Amy say that she started reading it, and she was like, "I don't think I'll finish it by tonight, though." And I'm like, "You can do it!" And Wendy's like posting this thing. It's like stalker. Like I just popped out of nowhere when
yeah.
they
Yeah.
conversation.
No, you saw the one note. All right, you can do it.
Yeah, and I feel like she could, but she's like, you have way too much faith in my reading ability, and I'm like,
Oh, come on! If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah, I don't know. You can read like 500 pages in a day, so
there are some regrets, but no, I can always. The good thing about doing that, though, is like we get to the discussion and I'm like, let me tell you what happened. I read it 5 minutes ago.
There's a gnat.
Versus I read this weekend. I'm like, do I remember this book? I do. Good job.
Sorry, there was a gnat.
You catch it?
Yeah, there was a gnat. It was flying like for a second and I got it. So sorry, I didn't mean to like interrupt you with the clap.
It was very, very interesting stuff I was talking about.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm trying to think. Yeah, okay. So if you're new here, which I don't think anybody is, but if you're watching and haven't commented, we read Mortal Queens by Victoria McCombs for Revive, which is my Christian book club. Now, this is not okay. So here's the thing. On Goodreads, this is marked as Christian, and it's published by Enclave, which is a Christian publisher. The author is a Christian, but I would not call this a Christian fantasy. It's clean. Like there's no language, there's just kissing. But for me, there was not like the only things that I could pull out of this and like just by like a hair pull out is there's themes of like having like discerning truth amidst deception, and then like you've got a conversation of immortality and eternal life, but it's not anything that and that's really pulling to get that out.
I will say also like one sentence where she kind of touches on it, where she's like, maybe it's not just like she did have like one sentence that was almost like higher power. Maybe it's his favor, capital HIS.
Yeah.
favors you. So yeah, there was
And I
like
think I missed that. So
it was one sentence in the entire thing.
yeah.
Because otherwise, you know, they're fae, there's magic, which
Yeah.
doesn't normally kind of compete sometimes, but
Yeah.
I
So
didn't
just
feel like
know
it.
that, like, you know, I'm sure those of you that have read it know it, but anybody that may be watching this later, just know, like, this is more of just a clean read, and I'm totally fine with that. Like, just
Yeah.
introducing you all to more clean reads. Like, as Christians, we, you know, want to find more things like this because I feel like there's not a ton of fantasy. I think I'm finding more and more, but there's not a ton of fantasy within the Christian genre or that I don't know, like lives up to, if you want to say it that way, what everybody is always so hyped about. And so I feel like this was a good, solid Christian fantasy, clean fantasy by a Christian author who takes
Yeah.
into account, you
So
know,
I like that you know she's a Christian author because you know it's gonna align with your faith. You're not gonna have stuff pop up in there that you don't really agree with. You're at least
yeah,
gonna be aligned to a certain extent. So I like that.
for sure. Okay, so Yvette, outside of this, what are you currently reading?
What am I currently reading? I am currently reading a very cute book. Um, it was released, I think, last year. It has a new release this year, but it's called Rewitched.
Yeah,
It's like purple
cozy
cover, very
fantasy.
like cozy fantasy. I'd say it's Sabrina the Teenage Witch vibes because there's like this whole situation that goes. She's at her birth. It's like her birthday, and they're gonna judge her if she's been a good witch and if she's like used her powers in a good way, and they're not wasted on her and all this stuff. And she goes there, and she ends up. If anybody has seen Sabrina the Teenage Witch, she ends up having this guy, the quiz master, who's hilarious. One of my favorite parts of Sabrina. And so basically, she's going to have to do some trials with a mentor. So it feels very much like Sabrina, except for like a 30-year-old person. so it's real cute. I like it. I'm probably like 35-ish% in.
Yeah.
But it's really, really cute fall vibes right now. It's in October.
Fine.
Yeah.
Perfect time of year to read it. Well, considering I just finished our book pick an hour and a half ago, I'm not currently reading anything. But the next book on the docket for me is Every Hour Until Then by Gabrielle Meyer. Her name is pronounced Gabrielle Meyer, but it's spelled Gabrielle, but it's Gabrielle. Just FYI for anybody that's wondering. And I always say it wrong, but that is how you pronounce her name. This is the 5th book, in the Timeless series. Yeah. And it's been a couple months since I've jumped back into it. And I am in Hannah's Comfy Cozy Book Club Discord. And she did this little thing this month that was like phone a friend, and she would put you with a partner, and you did this. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Hannah at the Teachers TBR has a book called Comfy Cozy, and you can get on Discord, and there's lots of fun things that happen in there in community, and it's free. So perks for it being free. But yeah, so she had this thing where it was like phone a friend, she puts you with a partner, and that friend, you would like send them 2, 3, 4, 5 books from your TBR, and they would pick which one they want you to read for the month, and then you did the same back and forth. Anyway, so I have Robin, and Robin picked for me to read this out of mine, which is so fitting because I need to get to this because the 6th book comes out, I think, in November. So this one is Jack the Ripper. Like,
I love it.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. So that's what I'm going to be reading next. Now, will I finish it before the end of the month? Maybe not, because y'all,
there's plenty of time.
But I've read 2 books. I don't think I know how to read anymore, y'all. Because will have read, unless I finish this one, 2 books this month. And then last month, 1 book. The month before that, 3. That's like unlike me. That's unheard of. Not that there's anything wrong with reading that amount of books and not more, but it's just abnormal for me.
Yeah, you're slowing down a little bit. That's fine. You have peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jack the Ripper, there's one that I just borrowed, so it's going to be in a few, maybe by the end of this month, but maybe first week of October. And it's Jack the Ripper versus Medusa.
What?
And it's called If Looks Could Kill. It's so pretty. Like, that is, if you can see it, Medusa.
Ooh.
And yeah, it just sounded really interesting. It's a true crime nail biter turned mythic odyssey. Jack the Ripper versus Medusa. I was like, that sounds kind of interesting. So that just reminded me yours did.
I love that. All right. I'm going to go through the comments and see who's here. And if you haven't already, leave the sunflower emoji if you read the book. And then either way, let us know what you're currently reading, or if you're hanging out with us. I will try to give a preface when we go into spoilers, so you can leave if you don't want to hear them, which I would prefer you do that and go read the book. So if you have not. But April's here, and she is so proud of you, Yvette, for finishing early.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Kelly. You read it and you're currently reading Scythe. I really enjoyed that book. Not the rest of the series so much, but I did enjoy that one.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jessie. You just finished a few hours ago, but you did it. Yay, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so glad you're here. I knew you were enjoying it, so I'm glad that you're part of the discussion. Yay. Hi, Heather. Right now you're reading But He's My Roommate by Anna Conwell. Awesome. I have read is it called My Golden Goal or The Golden Goal by her? And I enjoyed it. Currently reading Lethal King's book 2. Girl, I'm about to, as soon as my library hold comes in, because how dare they? How dare she leave us on it? Yeah, no.
And you don't have Hoopla, right? Your county.
Wait, is it on Hoopla?
All of her stuff was on my Hoopla.
Well, it depends on, I think, what your library has too.
I know, yeah, but if you double check there.
Yeah, because I'm just waiting on the audio, which I don't necessarily need, but I did end up doing the audio at the end of this one just to like speed the. Am I reading this book next? Am I reading this? Questionable. Yeah. I'll at least read it at the beginning of October because I need to know, and you girls gonna forget if I don't.
Right. So I know.
I'll be right there with you, April. Soon. You'll probably finish it before I do, but before I get to it. But this is the first time in a while I finished a book club on time. Yay! I'm so glad you're here, Heather. And it was a short book, so hopefully that helped. Oh, Jessie's about to also start the book. Y'all, oh my gosh.
We don't have to ask if people are going to continue.
Yeah, right. I had to go straight into it. Oh my goodness. Yes. I'm so excited. I know. Okay. I will, but I do have to read this other one too. I may have to be like reading 2 books at one time, which I don't know how that's going to go, but I just have to be reading this because I don't want Robin to be disappointed because he's already read the book that I chose for him. And so I committed to this. Mm-hmm. So I just may be slow, or y'all just may have to wait a little bit for me to, give you thoughts, but oh, goodness gracious. I'm glad we're excited. My library got rid of Hoopla and doesn't have it. Oh, I mean, my library doesn't have it either. I use a friend's kid's card.
Card. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, my Hoopla used to let you borrow 8 books a month.
Yeah.
And it turned to, they just decreased it to 5 because they paid for it and they were finding that not a lot of people were using all 8. So they just decided to bring it down.
I don't even know I've never hit the limit on this card, so I don't know what the limit is. Yeah. Let's see. What was that?
Cleo was being annoying.
Oh my goodness. All righty. Well, now that we've gotten through the comments, let's go ahead and get into this book discussion because we are starting a little bit later. Well, not a little bit, a lot of it. An hour later than normal. So we'll try to get through this in the next 45 minutes or so. So we'll go ahead and jump into our discussion, one of the interesting elements of this book, like at the beginning, is whenever Thea is selected to be a mortal queen, she gets to pick her mask, like what color mask she wants to wear. Which that's a really interesting and weird part of this story to me, like how this mask molds to her face.
And she doesn't
Got
even
some thoughts
think.
about that.
Yeah, she doesn't even remember it's there.
Yeah. So that's interesting. We'll get to that. But I want to know if you were choosing a mask, and I've put the little color coordinated thing down here with what they mean. If you were choosing a mask, what color would you choose? So white is for inner beauty, and then silver is for knowledge, red is for reckless bravery, gold is for vanity, black is for mischief, but it did say it could also mean fear. They were trying to figure out which she was going to be. So that which color would you choose?
I just based off of the fact that I am a Slytherin, I would have chosen black for mischief.
Yeah, that tracks. That's honestly what I thought you would say.
Yeah. I was just like, of course, it's the main characters, because that's me, main character. But yeah, I would be like, yeah, I like black. That sounds fun. Otherwise, it would be the silver for knowledge.
Yeah.
But
that's probably
bravery, absolutely not.
Yeah. Reckless bravery.
No, I have no bravery. I am a mouse.
Purely for like aesthetics, I feel like I would want to choose like the gold, but like no, like if it's just
your
color, if it's just based on color, which that's so fitting with what I'm saying. If it was just based on the color,
well, the thing is, they don't tell them what it means at first. So I mean,
so I'd be choosing the wrong color.
If it was just based on color, sure, I love gold. I would probably do the same. I'd be like, wow, that's pretty shiny. Girls love shiny things.
Yeah. But I feel like, I don't know, like white or silver is probably what I would probably go with. Definitely not the reckless bravery. I mean, mischievous, I don't know that would track with being there. I don't know.
Jovi would be black.
She would be mischievous.
Mischievous.
Jessie says she would choose black, no doubt. Even before she knew the choice.
Yeah.
Probably would have chosen white, especially if I didn't know the meaning.
Yeah, that's true. If you don't know, because she didn't. She was just like, here's the colors.
Sorry. I had a thing pop up, said, we need to restart your computer, not in the middle of discussion.
Not right now, ma'am.
But yeah, probably would have chosen white without knowing the meaning. And then based on what it means, white, but on color, gold for Hufflepuff. I love it. See, and nobody knows. Like,
yeah, you're right. I didn't like thinking gold for sure is like all my jewelry is gold, and I would just be like, I want it to match.
Exactly. April would have chosen silver or black just based on the colors. Yeah.
But also, yeah, I'd probably it would have been gold or black, maybe just based on colors.
Yeah. Like, why is there not like a blue or a green?
If
like,
there was blue, right away, blue. But I like black because then, like, I don't know, I do have a bunch of masks from like Venetian masks and stuff, and my favorite one is my black one. I should have brought it over and been like, haha.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting question. I'm going to hold my thoughts on the mask because it feeds into a theory, and I'm going to ask about theories later on.
Ooh, okay.
But don't let me forget I have a theory about the masks.
All right. Sounds good.
Or purple, right? There's no purple. And that could be like, hey, if somebody picked purple, I would have been like savior right there. That's the savior color, because I think of like royal and I think of Jesus when I think of purple. So
that's funny. I don't know why, but I thought of like frivolous was what I thought when I thought purple. I was like, purple, like bloomers would be purple. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Yes, like
But it should be something else.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to know who your favorite character was and tell me why, if you can tell me why too, because I already know who mine is, but I did feel like there were some pretty likable characters. So, who's your favorite?
My favorite was probably the person she chose, Theo.
Talon.
What?
Talon.
Oh, was that it? Talon. I don't have the physical book, so I forget.
I think it was Talon.
He was the one that she chose.
Yeah, he was in the House of Delvers.
He's the thief. I love him. Yeah.
Rich thieves. Yeah.
Loved him all the time. He was just like, but a rich thief. I was like, so he was hilarious. Really liked him. I also liked her brother's, like, not really betrothed, but
Eliza.
Yeah, I liked her a lot just because, like, she was in there for very short, but she stepped up.
You could tell she had good character.
Yeah, you could tell that she was just a all-around good person. So I liked her a lot. I think those are probably my two favorite.
Yeah, those are solid. I'm going to warn the audience, if you've not read this, that potential spoilers could be ahead. So exit now if you do want to read this book.
Good start.
But my first instinct, and let me tell you, I almost this was a short book, so I wish that I would have gotten more to solidify this. But one thing solidified it for me. Talon is my answer also, and what solidified it for me is him giving his heart.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I was like, excuse me, this is not in your nature.
And didn't even say it.
Yeah. Like she didn't, she had to find out from somebody else. And then she got it back for
yes.
Like, I was like, oh.
One of my favorite parts that's definitely why he was always there for her. Like everybody else around her was just saying how we love our queens. But like he showed up.
Yeah. And it's so interesting, like that he's from the rich thieves. Like he's from this like mischievous house. But he seems to be, which okay, now given some might get so enticed with the story that they forget that we're dealing with fae and then get really upset when betrayal happens. I don't know who I'm talking about here. But so I'm like, obviously I'm sitting here like, okay, but is he going to end up in the second book being mean? I hope not. And I don't think so.
Oh, I don't think so.
But I got lost in Bastion a little bit. Because I'm like, well, duh, she's going to be the one. Because nobody else can, so she's going to be the one. But that's like the whole point is like nobody. But I let myself get carried away.
Yeah.
And oh, little did I know the reason he didn't want her saying anything. But anyways, we'll talk about that later. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that.
I have so many notes on that.
we'll talk about it. That specifically. If you have notes on that, we'll talk about it. I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's so easy too because there's just so many things. But okay, let me see who everybody's favorites are. Talon. Yes. Agree with you, Matt. He's one of my favorites too. Yeah, I love him. He's just so good. Like Talon a lot.
Only thing to make it better was if there was like some sort of familiar animal,
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, that is really interesting that there's like no really animals. Like even the chariots, they're wisps.
I did. They were fun, but no like animals.
Yeah. When we clearly know that there's no animals because Odette, who is Talon's sister, tries to draw a bunny and does not know how to do it. Like when she's doing the art thing.
It's not his sister. They were lovers.
I'm sorry, not sister. Oh my gosh. You're right. The heartbreak thing. I was reading the comment, but it's not his sister. But
Yeah.
Troy was Bastion's
I did
sister and
like
also
her.
yeah.
I liked her a lot, and that she just like always showed up in armor. It was just
Mhm.
like, what
She
can
was
I
a baddie.
do? Yeah, she was a baddie. I did like her. So probably Talon, Troy, and
Yeah. Odette was a good friend too, though. Like,
I have thoughts about Odette.
but Odette be revealing some things. But also, we don't know what's true because we haven't got that far yet.
I know,
So,
right?
anyways,
Yeah.
do find the dad super intriguing though. Me too. We gotta talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
When she got it back, oh my goodness. Yeah,
Yeah.
oh the heart. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So good. I was rooting for Bastion. I know, because you want to root for that like morally gray character, and he seemed to be like bad, but maybe he's good. That's why we fall for him. She knew this author. She knew. She's like, these fantasy readers, they want to fall for him, so I'm gonna do this.
What was the other king called? His name was
So we had Brock and Thorn.
Thorn.
Thorn was the one that she made that deal with at the end for to be able to. The ambassador had to say yes to everything, and
No, I don't think it was Thorn.
yeah, girl, I just read it an hour and a half ago.
Who was the okay? Who was the one? Who was the one that like kind of tricked? Oh shoot, what was his name? He tricked her.
Or Winster, Lord Winch, what was his name?
It was a king.
Like Winter,
It was
Winster.
a king as well. He was the one making her. She kissed him and made him the other guy jealous.
That was Thorn, wasn't
I
it?
thought Winster was the one that had was the one that let her say yes.
Like at the very end with the ambassador, that was Thorn.
I didn't think that's Thorns. I thought it was Winster because
Thorn. I just read it. I'm looking at it. Yes.
Because he gives her a nod. And I thought Thorn was the one she kissed as well.
I don't remember that part because that was more towards the beginning, right?
Yeah, because he was the one making her Bastion jealous. That's the one I'm trying to talk about, but I don't remember.
But I thought that was Thorn because Winster's just the one at the very beginning that was kind of a I don't know. Let me find this.
I want to know the one that kissed her and then the one that let her.
I'll help in the comments if you know. But
yeah.
I really feel like that both was Thorn, but I may be wrong on the kiss thing. But hold on. You're right. Dude, I'm like, I just read it. Don't listen to Keisha, even though she just read things. But didn't she do something with Thorn at the end?
She was promised like friendship, not
yes, partner. That's what it was.
Yeah, she promised friendship, but not an alliance.
Oh, so Thorn was helping her. I know why I'm confused because he was helping her at that place with all the trickery.
Yes,
that's where he was at the end.
Yeah. So
they were both
was another guy I really liked.
The fact that you remember that having read it days ago, and then I'm still like, I just read it, but he was at the end just for a different thing. He helped her. He was trying to help her find Gaia, and by the way, if I have a least favorite character, it's her. She annoyed me so badly.
Yeah,
I was like, girl, you're just like submitting to your death essentially, and then speeds it up.
I know. I will say that like she had been in it for an entire year and a half by that point.
When she was grieving Ivory too, and I know that's
so it's like people do have bad ideas during those times.
Yeah. And I guess I should be a little bit more sympathetic to her having grieved.
I still didn't like her, but I had some sympathy. April, totally agree.
All right, hold on. Let me catch up. All I'm saying is the genre doesn't say romance, it just says fantasy. So it could be that there isn't going to be a romance. I mean, that's true. It could be. Hoping for a romance, she's got to crack his heart with how much it keeps being brought up. Right. I have big thoughts about the dad. Yeah. What if her and Thorn are endgame?
That's why I brought up Corn.
Like that would be age gap too, because I think isn't he the one that's a little bit older?
Yeah, he's Faye. It's fine.
Yeah. I think it was Winstrel, so he's the one who had the power of the silver hair girl. Yeah. See, y'all just gotta tell me, Keisha, you're not right.
Yeah, that's why I was like, he had kids. She didn't make out with the guy that had kids.
Yeah, you're right. Thor was the one who can control the bastard because he has a kid. Yeah, with the. Oh my gosh, I laughed though at those dolls that she was playing with. She's like, "You get a die soon," and I'm like, "This kid is just like."
Oh my gosh! I remember reading that, and I was like, "Wow." Yeah. Thor sister.
Okay. Thanks for clearing it up. Yvette was gonna have to punch me through the screen if I didn't.
I was like, I don't have a physical book. I can't do anything about this. I'm going back to this. But this is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think it's the W's because I honestly, at one point, I was like, yeah, this Duke of Whistleton.
I had the exact same thought. Lord of Winster, Duke of Whistleton.
Yeah.
Weaseltown.
I always remember that part. He's like, they're like, the Duke of Weaselton. It's Whistleton.
Whistleton.
Oh, I love that. So good. Okay. We're gonna talk about twists and theories in a couple questions, but before we get there, what was one of your favorite scenes or like elements of the story?
Probably one of my favorite themes, or not themes, scenes. Again, everybody out of the comments if you haven't read it, because
we're already spelling things.
Was what I feel like one of the best parts was when Gaia died. It was like all of a sudden just neck cracks and dead. I was like, whoa! I was like, that was pretty intense how it happened.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. It was definitely a scene. It was a moment.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I also liked the scenes where they were at the trickery area.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that part was really interesting, like a market.
I was so stressed.
Oh my God.
I would never go there.
No, never. Yeah. So I thought that part was real fun. Those were probably my favorite parts of like two favorite scenes probably.
You're telling me that the artist didn't find the art magic stuff?
No, because the art stuff was straight from ACOTAR. I was like, oh, she's an artist, you know? Like she just paints on the walls. Also, she paints on the walls and they're like, hey, she did this in like a couple hours. Murals. I'm like, nobody does multiple murals in a couple hours.
Fantasy event.
She's immortal. She wasn't.
I do think it was interesting though, like how the paintings, like I wanted more of that, which I'm sure we'll get more of that.
Yes.
But with Dahlia's, like,
yeah,
this queen that supposedly survived, and did like survive past her 2 years. And now she's getting these paintings with she put the clues in them. They're coming back to her. And now there's this magic when she touches them. She gets to see into Dahlia's life. I do think that's really interesting. Yeah. And I hope we get a little bit more of that. But
I did like that element. I didn't like I said, the paintings like threw me off a little bit. But like whenever she went into them, I thought that was super interesting.
Yeah. The chariots. Yep. I didn't until they mentioned, because I don't think they mentioned the wisps. Did they at the beginning like mention the wisps, or did they just say chariots? Because I thought the whole time I was like, horse-drawn chariots in the sky, and then it says wisps. I'm like, little glittery wind things. Like that's what I was thinking of. I'm like, this is what's carrying a chariot.
I don't know if they said it in the beginning or not, but I did imagine them flying the whole time. But I don't remember if there was like, if I thought they were horses flying or not. But
yeah, well, I thought they were like, they did mention the chariots, like they took them off in chariots, but they never mentioned like what was making it go. I feel like until later, and I was like, oh, wisps,
wisps. I thought it was cute, the wisp that got her dressed.
Yeah, and picked the same color.
Yeah, I thought that was real cute.
It was adorable. I thought the painting leading to flashbacks was really neat. Yes.
Oh no, what'd I do? Oh, the painting.
Probably, well, that, or were you talking about Gaia's?
Oh, that she
death? That was the most interesting.
Oh, that's probably what it was. Yeah, that was my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of dramatic. Like, you don't really you hear about violence throughout the book, but there's not any action. And then all of a sudden it's like,
yeah, like, she did.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Her choosing to get Talon's heart back and not the favor. And I love the trick area because it gave Carball vibes for sure.
Yeah. I liked that she chose to give Talon's heart back. Like, that part I did like, but the whole chess scene had me super stressed out. Like, I was like, not again, you know?
Yeah, the flashbacks were cool. Painting flashbacks gave pensive. Okay, y'all are answering this already, so I'm just going to go ahead and bring it up. It's the next question anyways. Did any elements in this book remind you of any other books you read? So we've got Harry Potter and Caraval, and you did mention ACOTAR with paintings, but I also low-key felt like when she entered the Fae realm, we were in the night court because it's literally night there all the time.
Yeah.
Then at the beginning, the selection process.
Oh, yeah. Also, because it is fairy folk more than like high fae. I mean, there were, because there's kings and stuff, but it felt more trickery and everything. It reminded me of Cruel Prince because there was so many deals and you could never trust. And there's a lot of elements, whereas like ACOTAR doesn't take a lot of like actual fairy elements other than, you know, they hot. But this one had like, you shouldn't, like, you're not supposed to say your name because the names hold power. So instead they don't show their faces because faces hold power. They can lord that over you and like different things like that. There was something else. Oh, Brave for the Wisp. I like that. Yeah.
And then like the very beginning with the selection was like, I was like, oh, it's the Hunger Games. But anything like that where you're drawing somebody to do something somewhere, like so it wasn't, I just think she took little things from a bunch of different, which I didn't mind it. I didn't feel like it was like overtly copycatting like anything. I think she just took little elements, which I didn't mind. So
yeah, that's funny because I didn't think the Hunger Games at all because they were excited for it.
Yeah,
there was no fear for them. So like
it's just the whole like this is the time of the year that somebody's going to be selected to go do that.
Like I would gear myself more towards the selection. Like
but it wasn't a selection for a bachelor situation though.
Yeah, but it wasn't a selection for the death either.
Oh, you're right. Well, was it? Because they didn't know. They didn't know.
I was tricked too. Oh my gosh.
Dang, y'all are getting real in depth with these answers.
That's hilarious. Oh, I know what the other one was. Okay, you and I read it. It had fairy, and you liked the first series, but you hated the third book in it. It was like its own branch off. What is it called?
Did we read it together?
Yeah, we did. You liked the first two, the duology, and then there was like a spin-off.
Oh, These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan.
Yes, really reminded me of that.
I think I'm so disconnected from that. Like it's been so long that I don't remember.
Oh yeah, a lot of this reminded me of that.
Gotcha.
So if you liked it, the first
two recommendations. They're not Christian recommendations, but
yeah.
But there are other books.
Yeah, we do not suggest the spinoff though.
Do not read the spinoff, Jesse. It's awful. Just read These Hollow Vows, and there is like some steamier.
I mean,
they're not. There are steamier because I've had some.
I think
when I was recommending those books, I had Christian friends come back and say, this is pitched as this, and it's not, because there is. I mean, there's like innuendo, and it is YA, and it's closed door, I think, but there's some stuff. So just know it's steamy-ish.
Steamy-ish.
It depends on your spice level, what you consider. But I would just say, like, I don't recommend those anymore because I've gone back and I'm like, no, I can't recommend those. So I did like them when I read them, but also that spinoff was awful. So
yeah, not the spinoff.
Okay, let's talk about these little twisty twists, specifically Bastion and then her mom and dad. So let's start with Bastion. Did you have a laundry list of notes on this?
So for Bastion, I have in here at like 24%. I don't trust this guy. Because then I'm reading off my notes. I was just like 24%. I don't like this guy. And then 85% when he's like, I need you. I wrote Bleck.
See, that was like those lines, like the I need you, and then like I had highlighted
I hated it.
Oh my goodness.
It reminded me so much of the book I just suggested because I was just like, this guy, he seemed.
Well, I didn't trust him at first, obviously. And for the longest time, I was like, no, I'm not going to trust him. But then I was like, well, maybe that's where she's going, is like, she is going to be the girl, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then I had highlighted the quote that was like, where's it at? Was this them talking? I think it was them talking. Where does such a strength come from? If I peeled back the layers of you, what would I find? What other courage lies there?
Have layers. No,
yeah, the inflection of his tone was less questioning and more pondering, but I wanted to answer the question, and I wanted to remove my mask and let him see me. I wanted to remove his mask and see him. Like, that's where I started. That was 52%. And I was like, okay, well, maybe this is what's supposed to happen. You know, this is fun.
That part came up, and I said, girl, why are you trying to remove your mask? And then, yeah, the 85% where he's just like, I need you. And he's like, he had this whole spiel about it. And I hate this. And then like, I was already not trusting him. And then he's like, you can't tell anybody because this bracelet, like, will get me in trouble. And I was like, red flags.
See, and then I'm so invested at this point that I'm like, yeah, he can't tell anybody, because I'm like, she's about to tell Odette, and I'm like, oh, he's like, don't tell anybody, and then she's about to tell Odette, and so then I'm like, oh, maybe Odette's gonna betray her. Not even freaking thinking.
I was just like, tell Odette right now. Yeah, so I was a Thorn girly. I kind of wanted her to end up with Thorn.
Well, it's not over yet. So
I really could have, like, if Talon wasn't in love with Odette, like, Talon was my boy.
Yeah, for sure. See, Heather, thank you for making me feel better.
No, I was just like, this guy. And there was something else. Oh no, that was for somebody else. But yeah, I was just like, don't trust you.
That's why I say she did a good job of, like, those of us who were not like on it. And I was trying to figure out some stuff, like what Jesse just said about the mom being in the Fae realm. And yes, because I was like, from the very beginning with that dad knowing something, and then when they start telling the lore, I'm like, some of y'all is connected somehow, but she just said Bastion fell off with because really didn't spend that much time together.
I also felt that way, where it was just like, I don't feel the buildup. Like, why are they all already in love with each other?
I was just thinking it was short, so she probably just didn't have time to do that.
I was like, if that was the case, it'd be like, boo, like instant love with no reason behind it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like they spent a good portion of the book together, with the book being so short, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, how much time did they spend together? She lost 3 months, and then she lost, like, sped up another 6 months. I think she spent maybe a month with him.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we still don't even know. We don't know. What if he's
I
still
mean,
we
I
haven't
could
read
be
book two.
completely wrong. We don't know. It's
But that's
possible.
what's so exciting, and that's why we have to read book two.
I know. I thought about it. I was like, I didn't trust him from the beginning, and then he turns out to possibly be a bad
But
guy.
that betrayal has not been confirmed.
I know. That's what I thought. I was like, well, maybe I'm off. Maybe, or maybe like he was gonna betray her, and then was gonna change his ways. I don't know, but
But
I
you
didn't trust
can't have. I don't think I can believe that Talon and Odette are good and Bastion is good. That's too many people. So
him.
somebody's got to be off. So what if she flips it again? I don't even know.
Yeah,
I, I guess we'll find out.
I know.
Heather has theories about mom and dad. Please share them. I'm about to share mine too. Hi, Elise. I'm so glad you got to read the book and you rated it 4 stars. I'm so
Yay.
excited. I love it. Tell us all your thoughts. We're kind of like nearing the end of the discussion, but tell us all your thoughts.
I was worried the dad when I first started it. I was worried the dad had like sold her into this.
Yeah.
Like I thought he had made a deal with them, and I was like, dude, and he like was warning her about the Fey realm and stuff, and I was like, so he knows she's gonna die, and he like sold her into this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I thought at first. Um, and then my theory with the mom was that she was the queen.
Yeah.
Um, and that hasn't been confirmed yet because, like, I was like, wait a minute, wouldn't she know what her mom looked like? But
Yeah.
they said that they can change their faces later.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if that had happened with her.
Yeah.
And that, like, that guy, that Faye that she, like, ran away with, maybe is her dad. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like, so I also was thinking her mom would be the queen, but like you said, with the face thing, I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But then with her dad, I thought he is either one of two people. I thought he was the seventh
Yeah.
king,
Mm-hmm.
or they had mentioned only one Fae has ever experienced heartbreak so bad that it shattered his heart and he became mortal. Now,
Mm.
her dad said he's still Fae,
Yeah, he did.
but I'm like, but is he that guy? Because like he's living in the mortal realm.
Yeah.
So those are the two things I was thinking about. Is either that or
What was
he's
the guy's name? Like Morda or something?
boredom.
Mordum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
So
like
I was
that.
thinking it was maybe them too. And they like changed their appearances when they went back over. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see. Like I obviously we all kind of figured something with them, but I'm curious to see what exactly it's
Yeah.
gonna be. With that knowing so much all the time and it being and betting it all, I was like, he's either a really bad gambler or he knows something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew something.
I thought he was just a really bad parent.
Yeah, I mean that's the at the very beginning. That's kind of the thing. Yeah, probably. The dad being Fae, I was still confused on, but I guess they didn't really explain what is physically different between human or Fae other than beauty. Yeah. Well, and also if he was Fae and he hid his face,
Yeah.
and then because that's what they're talking about, like your face, like is
Oh yeah.
valuable.
I guess
So
she
maybe
never
they
did
wouldn't
see
know.
Gaia. She never did. Not Gaia.
Yeah, yeah. No, she did. I thought she did see in one of the paintings what she looked like. Dahlia.
Dahlia. Yeah. But she would have been wearing a mask in every single vision.
Did she not? I may be wrong.
She talked about somebody.
I
She
thought she
talked
took it
about
off.
a face, but it was just a reflection of what she painted. It wasn't like
But
a.
like in a vision. Because she took off, Dahlia took off her mask with Mortem, did she not?
I don't remember.
I don't remember there. I'm gonna have to go back and look. There's so much going on in such a short book. It was like hard to
Yeah.
figure out. But yeah. Thought that too.
Yeah.
And so did Jesse. Feel
Yeah.
like her
Like
mom.
it felt too easy though, so I was like, maybe not. I don't know.
Well, some people write predictable, so you never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like her mom could be the living mortal queen. Her dad is either the missing king or he's the mortal queen's helper from the flashbacks.
The other thing that they did say was the queen, she was still living in the fairyland, and that she had generations. So maybe she's a daughter of the queen who fell in love with a fae, and they
Oh, that's a theory.
that could be how she knew.
I think she's the queen, he's the missing king. Yeah, I do think. Yeah, you've got something going there though, Yvette, with like the lineage thing.
Yeah, they talked
And
about a
also,
lineage.
like, if he's Mortem, that helper was Mortem because she was in love with him and not in love with that bad. Was that Ulthar or something? Ulthar or something with a U?
No.
The bad one.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Interesting. Okay, y'all are like getting my gears working in my brain over here. I definitely thought the dad was shady, so the reveal at the end was a pleasant surprise. Regarding Bastion, I'm not convinced he's bad. I'd rather think Odette had nefarious motives. Right. But also, like, it's hard to because, like, you love her too. Oh, I don't know. I'm so curious to see where it goes. God, you just want to read this thing. I know we're all going to read it, like, right now, right? Maybe I'll read it tomorrow.
I know. We stop the discussion. We can find out the answers tonight.
I'm gonna have to start a group chat, and we're gonna have to talk about this. Like, do I do it on? If I start a group chat, do y'all want me to just do like an Instagram group chat, or do you want me to make something in the Discord? I don't feel like everybody's in the Discord, but let me know because I can just do like an Instagram group chat if y'all want to buddy read. Also, thought the dad was the missing king. Yeah. See, I mean, he could be so many people. Yeah. And other people could be people we don't even know.
Other people could be people.
Other people could be people.
That's a great line.
Oh, I love the story that her dad is the missing king. Also wonder if her mom is who she's communicating with the paintings, but not all at the same time.
That's what I was thinking too. Because
or like maybe Dahlia's like you said, her great grandmother or something like that.
Yeah, lineage. And so I figured her mom was the one communicating that because the whole point is she's in that.
She can go back and forth too. Yeah.
Yeah,
we're on something, guys. We're getting there.
We know the
whole second book for us, but
don't even need to read it.
We can write it. Yeah, no, I do want to read it and see how close we are.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, April! Don't you say anything. Don't you tell us.
They were long chapters too.
They were. I got annoyed at that at times.
Yeah, there was some that were like 20, 30 minutes. I was like, wow.
Okay, I really don't mind doing it on Instagram. I'd rather almost do that than. Well, we'll just have to be. The only thing is you can't hide spoilers. So we're going to have to figure out a way to like talk about this if we're at different places.
Yeah. I once did the way of the Kings on Instagram, and we had like at that time it was like weekly check-ins, but we could do like every like 2 or 3 days and be like, this is the chapter we're talking through or something. But otherwise it would happen.
Maybe, yeah. But I don't know. I feel like these girls are gonna fly through.
They're gonna read it like I'll read it in a day.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just create a discussion, like create an Instagram chat like about it, group chat, but then we don't all talk about it until we're all done. If we're gonna read it that fast. I don't know. Because it's not like we were using Discord much to like do chapter breakdowns anyway. So let's just talk about it when we're done. And I'll try to read it quickly. Okay, or at the end when her dad is giving her answers and said her mom went to the Fae realm. If she was mortal, the Fae realm would have been feeding off of her and wouldn't have been dying when the two girls jumped forward in time. Things to think about.
Yeah.
Oh, this one. Yeah. I'm just going to do it. I'll just create the chat and y'all can tell us what you're thinking without spoilers. And then at the end we can all chat spoilers. I'll say like let's give it a week ish. We'll see. I don't know. I feel like y'all will finish it before me, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm reading slow right now, but I do want to talk about it with y'all. Any other theories going into book 2?
I don't feel like any other theories. I feel like we touched on a lot of them.
Because we talked about, like, is Bastion really bad or not, and is it Odette or
All
not?
I know is, like I said, I hope that Thorn is the love
My
interest.
goodness.
But yeah, and I hope that Talon stays true.
I do wonder if they're, again, with the masks, I do wonder if there's going to be some significance with those masks. And it may just be that we don't know who somebody is because of a mask, or because, like, maybe her dad, that's why they don't recognize him, because he had a mask on if he was a Fae before.
Yeah.
But I just think that's really interesting. So I always paid attention to the fact that they wore the masks, because I was like, this has to play in at some point, you know?
And it may just be that she gets to see somebody without a mask at one point too. It just like it did play into this one where somebody got to see somebody without a mask, and so they owed favors. But like maybe that's a part of it. But hopefully it is something like somebody puts on a mask and pretends to be somebody else. Maybe Bastion is like the bad king, and nobody knows.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll tell the rating in just a second.
Yeah.
And I knew yours because I looked on Goodreads before.
Yeah, I saw it on Instagram too. So
and that's exciting for me. Like I was so excited that you read it and that you enjoyed it that much. I was like, yay, this is a win. So, but we can share star ratings now at this point.
There was a few more things I was gonna say.
Oh, go ahead. Y'all can share star ratings while Yvette's wrapping it up.
There was another one where it was like theories throughout the book. So at the very beginning, they said it like twice, where it was like, as long as you are the mortal queen, you have to die. And I was like, oh, mortal queen. I was like, so she either needs to become a fae or, and that was at 31%. They said it like multiple times. And I was like, okay, so mortal queen. She either needs to become a fae, or how does she become no longer the queen? Like she has that tattoo. Yeah. Maybe she can become like.
But they die without them.
What?
But they die, like they start to die without mortal queens.
I know. So, but like if she wants to live,
yeah,
she either needs to become fae, or she has to be. And if she becomes fae, I think they would die as well.
Yeah. So that obviously that's not going to be what happens, because they're not gonna, I don't think she's going to kill off all those fae, you know?
Yeah. So I thought it was interesting. They said it multiple times. So that was like at 31%. And then at the end, they were like, we'll make you a fae. I was like, haha. But I also thought it was
very fantasy novels. You just catch on to all this.
I made sure to like write the percent. So it wasn't just like me at the end being like, oh yeah, I knew that. I like wrote down my theory at that percent. But I also thought it was interesting where she was just like, I need to save all the mortal women who come here. I need to break the spell, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, I'll make you a fae. And she's like, oh, bet. I'll let the other people after me die. It's like that part switched up so much that I was like, wait, you're not helping the other chick at all anymore, or people afterwards. I don't know. That part was kind of strange. And then, I should have like messaged you beforehand, but I had a question what people thought. They kept on saying that the fae was like, you don't understand. We have to mourn you. All of our queens die and we have to mourn them, and like over and over and over again. So like every year, basically they're mourning somebody. Like on a personal level, do you and then she was like, well, I'm the one dying, so like I thought, and which do you think is worse, yourself dying or people mourning you, if that makes sense?
My gosh, what a hard question.
And for me, I think mourning is harder because you have to continually live through it, versus like dying is, although she knows about it for 2 years.
I think it's interesting. And I know they say like they can't help but love the mortal queens. Like it's just part of that curse that they have to.
Yeah.
So I guess setting that aside, my thought was like, but wouldn't you get tired? Like, would you actually mourn if you know? But if they are forced to love, like that makes sense. Like they can't help but love and mourn. But in my brain, I'm like, But if you're mourning every year, I feel
Yeah.
like that would just get desensitized to an
Oh,
extent.
sure. I
But
think
it
that,
won't with the curse, I
yeah,
guess.
on their level, I think the dying probably is worse because they are so desensitized by it. It's like eating a piece of cake every single day. 10 years down the road, that cake doesn't taste as good. But like in real life, I'm like, which is worse? The person who dies and no longer has to suffer, maybe, or like us having to mourn that person? I don't know. That's what
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking.
See, it's half Fae. Is she not doomed to die in 2 years? If she's, whoa! Why are we not talking about this? The
Mm,
dad's Fae.
yeah.
What? Over my head. That's. Did you
Yeah.
just what? Did you just ruin the loophole that we missed?
She's
We're
on to
all gonna go into it not even thinking this.
right.
Why are we not thinking this?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That is a really good point.
Okay, but how is she still keeping? She's keeping him alive because she's half human, but she's. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, this just don't say anything else, people. I don't want to.
Well, I was going to say
anymore.
she wasn't really keeping them alive because they went and got a mortal queen right away, basically. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, both of them, when they were in that time thing, though, when they were away,
yeah,
they weren't being kept alive. So,
mm-hmm.
Okay. Gosh, I want to read this next book.
Yes.
I love it. This has been one of the most fun discussions I feel like we've had for this. This is a good pick. Yeah. I wasn't sure that we'd have like a ton to talk about, but I feel like this has been good. So, okay, let me see everybody's star rating. So Elise was a 4, April gave it a 5 and would totally reread it. Those are big words.
Yeah.
Heather gave it a 5. Oh. This was the first book in a long time that I was actually excited to read and thought about when I wasn't reading. Oh, so it's a 5-star. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Wow.
Those are some big ratings.
Yeah, definitely has me thinking.
Well, Yvette, what did you rate it? I have a feeling it's not a 5.
I rated it a 2. So
no. What? Because you've read so much fantasy and you thought it was copycatting and it didn't have enough
copycatting
building, and is that why?
No. So so these were my things.
These comments. Plot twist. Not even a 3.
I was like, yeah, maybe a 3. The melting.
Okay, tell us why.
And like at most 2.5. But it was the fact that she just like I said, she falls for him, and I was just like, girl, why are you being so dumb? Why are you being so dumb? And then just at the very beginning, she's just so cocky. She has all this. She starts taking deals like right away. I'm like, I just told you.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad. She gets very cocky at the beginning, and she's just like, she says to herself, I've barely ever played chess, and this guy has played chess for eons. What the heck? I'm gonna go play chess.
Yeah.
So she played.
She really didn't have a lot of logic at the beginning.
She
made really
stupid of survival skills.
I agree.
So like her doing that bothered me a lot. She did that and then loses and then does like double or nothing. And I was like, did you not just learn a lesson there? And then yeah, just that part, the Bastion part. When she gave back the heart, that like I was like, ooh, this is getting better. And then when Gaia died, I was like, but then I don't know. And then she kept on choosing Bash and wasn't telling anybody. I was just like, if somebody tells you don't tell anybody, immediately tell somebody. And there was something else that like like I said,
it is YA. I mean, she is.
I get it, but don't have them saying they're falling in love with princes. And then the other one was where she just decides to become, she's going to save people. She's going to save all the mortals. And then as soon as they say that they're going to change her into a fae, she's like, okay, cool. And is going to let the rest of the people die.
She's pretty like impulsive with her decisions.
Yeah. So I will. Okay. So the thing about me is that even though I rate things like that, I'm still interested in the end. So I may still read the second book.
No, you should read it with us. It's quick. You can read it in a day.
I'm saying that most likely won't stop me from reading the next book. But yeah, I was going along, and the entire time she was probably my least favorite character.
I did not, and my rating is the same as Kelly. So Kelly, don't feel bad. I also gave it a 4 because of some of the same things you said, like her lack of maturity or like impulsiveness and the just like stupid decisions that I'm like, there's no, where's your brain, like. And she did, I feel like, get a little bit better towards the end. She got, but even coming into something you don't know anything about, a world that you don't know anything about, why would you make impulsive decisions? Even if you don't know, like, obviously that's your cue to like probably not make decisions like that,
Yeah.
So that, and then also I do feel like some things were just random. Like I knew there was going to be chess in this, but I didn't know how big of a part it was going to play. And I feel like it was a random part of it. Like, why do they all play chess? Like, why?
Yeah.
And obviously it's shorter. So like, there's a lot that I could have gotten more from it had it been a little bit meatier. So like those little things. So it wasn't perfect, but I did really love it. I enjoyed reading it. And I feel like it just feels like a 4. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to continue. So that is my rating.
Yeah. And there is also like, I don't know, not exactly poor writing, but like the very beginning, she's giving like a detail about every little thing, and barely any days have passed. And then she loses the 3 months, or was going to be 6, and then it was being 3. And she just skips to after it goes really quick. She just skips to it. And then instead of, making the book a little longer or something, it just felt like almost she didn't want to write anymore. So she's like, I'm going to make a watch that speeds up time. Like, it was just like 3 months was spent with her in solitude, and then the other 8 months was.
But it worked. It worked for her. I didn't think anything about it.
It was a poor way to write it. I just felt like it was a way for her to just be like, all right, I don't really feel like writing anymore about this, so we're going to speed it up.
Well, I was okay with it. It's fine.
But I did like how she killed her. So, I mean, if it had been like 2 months and she had written a little bit more between then, but,
I thought the watch thing is clever.
Yeah.
Hey, that is a clever way to end it and people not be extremely mad or to miss maybe that you just maybe didn't want to write anymore. She just
moved that book on real fast. She's like, we don't need a middle part.
Yeah. See, we're all still like itching to know because we didn't get clarification on who is betraying.
I will say the other good watch part was when she stopped time to be able to hug her brother. I was like, this is the stupidest thing ever. And then it was luckily, again, like it wasn't
the convenience of
it was the convenience of it. She's like, oh, and I'll just make the father be able to talk to her, So I thought she was so dumb for doing it just for the brother when she knows she's got a year to live and she might need it. But then, I know the other one. Whenever any book says they'll take a memory, I'm like, absolutely not. Always no. Because no matter what, in that memory is something important that you needed to remember every single time. Yeah. And so as soon as that happened, I was like, girl, no.
And something with her mom. That's another thing we didn't talk about was like, that person was like, where's your mom? Like, and it's like, okay, why are you so interested in my mom? So like, obviously they knew something.
Yeah, think about, keep on worrying. Oh, and I, not like a reason I disliked it, but as soon as the mom was saying, amoebate or whatever in the beginning. It was her way of saying
that language of her own.
Yeah. When they were like, oh, it was her own made up language. Like, as soon as they said that, I was like, she's Fae or something. Like, because she's going to say it into the Fae realm and they're going to be like, how did you know how to say that? You know? And yeah, lo and behold.
Yeah. That's valid.
Yeah.
Gosh, see, even though this book was so short, we've had so many things to talk about.
Yeah.
I feel like that means it's good and justifies more than 2 stars.
I was being nice and not ruining the chat.
Well, that's appreciated, but we had good discussion on it.
No, we did. I think so. Doesn't make me like it more.
Well, at least I mean I can't complain. And again, you've read a lot of fantasy books, and I have not. So, but April has also read a lot of fantasy books, and she loved. Oh goodness. I want to know if anybody. So obviously, we plan on reading Lethal Kings, I think is what it's called. Does anybody have any plans to read any more of her books? Because she does have more books. And specifically, I'm interested in reading this one, which is one that I talked to Yvette about because it's a pirate one.
Yeah, this was the one I've had on my TBR for the longest because I found it on Hoopla. And I still plan to read it. Like I said, I'm normally not a one and done girly.
Hey, and it's longer. It's 339 pages. So maybe she won't do you like she did in this one.
Just skip through parts and be done. Yeah. And it has pirates, so I mean, we can't go wrong. Yeah, no, I plan to read that one. And yeah, I'm not a one and done. I normally give like people a couple, like 1 to 2 tries.
Yeah. She has a few series. This Storyteller's Daughter series. I think that's one of the first ones she did, or at least that's one of the first ones I remember seeing people talk about her. So
Rumpelstiltskin.
So this supposed to be like Rumpelstiltskin retelling.
Ella Enchanted. What?
Will satisfy fans. Okay, you better not read it because you're going to see Ella Enchanted right here and be like, okay, I have expectations, and then she's
high expectations. I love Ella Enchanted.
Yeah. So. Well, that's another series, and then Rune just came out. Oh, where'd that go? This year.
But I will say that, like, the book that we just read. Oh, that one's pretty high rated. The book we just read was in the like mid 4 point something range. So definitely an outlier. And then that Ella Enchanted one though was under 4, so that makes me worried.
Okay, this sounds interesting too. Okay, apparently I'm gonna read all of her books.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. It deals with the gods of old. Like, okay. And then I know she just had one come out, a sequel to one that I swear she's just pumping out these books. Quarter Labyrinth. She just had the sequel to this come out too, called something. I don't remember. But anyway, this is supposed to give like I think a Hunger Games vibes, maybe, or maybe. For fans of Fable. Okay, Yvette, you've got to read more of this. Those girls' books. But I swear somebody said Hunger Games. Maybe I'm wrong. Labyrinth, Deadly Puzzles. Yeah, probably Hunger Games. But yeah. And then she just had a sequel. Is that on here? There was a sequel to that just came out. It's got a wolf on the front, maybe? I don't know. Anyways. She has lots of books, guys. So if you like her, check her out. Yeah. What is this? Oh, that's the same. Okay, the Royal Rose Chronicles is the pirate. So she's got 2.
Yeah, she has at least 3 of those. And then only 2 of the one we just read.
And yeah, it's a duology. And then Storyteller series 4. There's the other Labyrinth Wolves.
Yeah.
So, anyways, just in case anybody wanted to know, she has lots of other books to check out. And I'll probably read the Oath one, the pirate one next. Because ever since I read Nightweaver, now I'm watching Pirates of the Caribbean, and I want to read another pirate book.
Yay, pirates! They're the best.
And also Across the Ages by Gabrielle Meyer. That was the 4th book and the last book that I read in the Timeless series, and it had pirates. So apparently, it's a pirate year for me.
So good.
Jesse's going to read more of hers. Yeah, we could buddy read them all. Yay! I'm glad this was a successful book pick. And I'm glad you all read it and enjoyed it. So,
Yeah, that was
um,
a lot of good. What's the word I'm looking for? Communicate. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, good community.
We had good communion.
Good communion. Have your wine. Well, this is tea, but close enough.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up for the night. Thank you all for joining us. We are going to have book club again in November, and it will be nonfiction month. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but nothing special is going to happen in November, but it's 2 years of Revive. Time flies, but our November book pick again is nonfiction, and Wendy and Hannah are going to be co-hosting with me, and the book club pick is Jesus Through the Eyes of Women by Rebecca McLaughlin, and it's how the first female disciples help us know and love the Lord, and it's a short one, so if you have time for a less than 200 page book, it's like 160 pages, pick it up. I don't know where you can find it in store because I think it's a little bit harder to find in store, but it is available on Amazon. So that's good. I feel like, did this have, there's discussion questions in this too. So that's good. But it was published a while back. I've seen a lot of Christian content creators mention this over the years and really enjoyed it. And it's been on my radar for quite a while. And finally, I just decided it was time to read it, so it's time to read it. It was probably, it wasn't that long ago. It was 2022, so I don't know why it's hard to find, but it looks like this. So, and it probably will be a little bit more theology than Christian living, just FYI for people that may want to know that. That's what it seems. And this author has a PhD. So, I'm assuming it'll be a little bit more on that end. I'm not saying that to scare you away from reading it or to say that it's going to be hard to read, because I honestly have no idea. And I've heard nothing but good things about it. But, even she's got, you can't see that. This right here is footnotes.
Oh, footnotes.
But it's not like that on every page. These pages don't have footnotes.
Are the footnotes just this is from the Bible or something like that?
For example, blah 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 blah. So, it's just see these additional resources. So they're not even really whatever. But just FYI to know what you're getting into. But again, I've heard nothing but good things. I'm really excited about this. So I'm excited to have Hannah and Wendy join me. There will be an announcement about Revive coming in mid-December. And I can tell you right now that I don't exactly know what that announcement will be. It's going to be one of two things. So, but it is coming in mid-December. I do think I know mostly what it's going to be, but it's going to be one of two things. So just keep your eyes peeled for the end. But otherwise, I will see you in November, I guess. So thank you all for joining us. Yvette, thank you for co-hosting with me. We still love you, even though you rated the book 2 stars.
I know. I was very conscious of being.
But you brought perspective.
Very nice about it.
And you brought perspective because we had rose-colored glasses for a little bit. So.
But no, still a fun discussion.
Yes. All right. Well, good night, everybody. I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and we will see you all soon. Bye.